infection yẹn ni ṣé lára ìyá tó bí yín lẹ ti kó infection tẹ́ máa ń ní yẹn ni ó dà pé automatically infection yẹn máa ń bá yín wá ni ẹni bá ti fẹ́yàn ní sàkání ó gbọ́dọ̀ máa ní infection náà ni Wùnmí náà kó lọ sọ́dọ̀ Mohbad tí ẹ náà ń treat infection tó fi kú ọkọ tiẹ̀ náà ló ti ń treat infection yìí.
nítorí pé ajá ni wọ́n láìkì ìdókùdò ni nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ nìyẹn.
ó dùn mí gan fún yín o.
I was treated with azithromycin antibiotics to prevent my unborn from being blind at birth. In March 2021, as my long trip to Nigeria was coming to an end, his longtime lover called in on his phone as he was in the shower.
Well, now, what is with the end? Because the loss more vulnerable.
Kim ran out of the shower, soap all over his body, sleeping and falling because I answered his call. When I questioned who she was, he couldn't tell me. Instead, stammering and saying she's my cousin. So I replied, how come I don't know her as a member of the family? Akim's response to the lady on the phone was, my families are here. My families are here. So I called his mom and informed her of the issue, as she was the one who introduced me to Akim. When I arrived at my mother-in-law's place, the same lady was already there waiting for us. This lady and his mom assaulted me verbally and physically while Akim stood there watching and told me that I brought it upon myself and he did not intervene. I sobbed uncontrollably because I couldn't believe my husband could be on his mistress' side. And his mother and sister were laughing at me while the lady was beating me up. I wanted to quit the marriage that day, but I was afraid for my safety and that of my son. I left Nigeria for the United States with Jordan in March 2021, crying.
Mo ní ọmọ yìí, ọmọdé yìí rọra, ó lè máa bẹ́ everybody jà, ó lè máa create enemy fúnra ẹ̀, má bá yìí jà, má bá tọ̀hún jà, tó bá ń bá yìí jà, bá tọ̀hún jà, wá create enemy fúnra ara ẹ̀, ìwọ ló ti automatically create enemy fúnra ẹ̀, ìtorí ẹ̀ èmi ti rí pé o ti ní enemy already. Èmi ò ní láti máa dá ẹ lóhùn because gbogbo àwọn tó ń gbé ẹ ṣépè everyday àwọn náà lọ yìí gbogbo àwọn tó ń gbé ẹ ṣépè everyday mi ò lè kà wọ́n tán because iṣẹ́ ìpìlẹ̀ ń ṣe.
The entire flight. While all this was going on, I had already petitioned for him and he had gotten his immigrant visa. When Akim arrived in the United States in April 2021, I asked him about the said lady, and he admitted that the lady was his long-time lover. At this point, I asked him to choose between his marriage to me and his son or his mistress. He couldn't give me an answer right away and requested some time to think about it. In 2022, I recommended Akim return to school for nursing to advance his career, but he initially rejected it. But after much persuasion, he agreed to return to school. While he was in school, he was unable to walk due to the workload of school. I was unable to walk as much as well because I had to stay home with the kids so he could concentrate on studying. His school was not qualified for FAFSA, F-A-F-S-A. He had to pay his tuition out of pocket. I was helping to pay his tuition and the bills with the little income I was earning. As time went on, we both realized we needed help with child.
Ìyẹn mean pé ìwọ gan ló fẹ́ ọkọ ẹ̀ ò fẹ́. Àbí òye yín bẹ̀ yẹn? Ọkọ ẹ̀ ò fẹ́, ìwọ ló fẹ́ fún ara ẹ̀ because ẹ̀ tó sí ara yín. Irú ìgbéyàwó bẹ́ẹ̀ ó máa get at ìgò get àsìbí because ẹ̀ tó sí ara yín. Ìwọ ló fẹ́ ọkọ kọ́ ló fẹ́. Ìwọ ló san dáórì, ìwọ ló kó nǹkan, ìwọ ló kó dáórì sílẹ̀ torí pé o fẹ́ fọ́kọ. Wá wò ìyá yìí jẹ́ ń gbé ẹ débẹ̀. Kò sí ọkùnrin ó ti fira ẹ sílẹ̀ because òun bá ya ẹ jà.
Hello, bọ̀dá láti ẹ blọ́ọ̀kì òkè símọ́nì yẹn.
Òun bá ya ẹ jà. Òun bá ya ẹ jà ìyá tó bí ẹ lójú ọkọ ẹ ó mọ̀ pé ó ti rìn hòhò. Hello.
ló jọ má bínú mi tètè join program mi ta ló mẹ́tò pé yẹn ta ló ti ta náà méjèèjì.
mi tiẹ̀ wá mọ̀ mi bẹ́ẹ̀ mo mọ̀ pé.
ó dẹ̀ pé ọkùnrin ló ń sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn kẹ́ àbí kí n tó ń gangan ló ń sọ̀rọ̀.
dáwà ló ń kà dáwà class ló ń kà.
wọ́n ka message jáde láti
wọ́n ní lẹ́tà tó kọ sí department wọn ní US.
So please don't do that for me again. Ó ti gbọ́ next time tí ìròyìn bá ti ṣẹlẹ̀ jẹ́ kán bá ṣe òun má accuse anybody doing similar thing.
Mama tí ò dẹ̀ mute. Ẹ bá mi já bọ́lẹ̀ tí ò bá mute. Ẹ mú gbọ́n jà rẹ̀.
Ẹ má bínú mi ìmọ̀ pẹ́ ti gbé mi gòkè mo ti.
Láti ilẹ̀ ni mo ti sọ fún ẹ ó wọ̀ pé spirit ní òtẹ́ ẹ̀rọ mọ́mọ́ ẹ̀ rárá láti ilẹ̀ ọmọ àlè gidi ni. Ẹ wo àṣírí tó wá ń tú jáde síta yìí sí.
Ṣé
ẹ̀yin ti rí nígbà tó ti ń tọ̀tara yẹn tó bá ti dòdò kúdò tó bo wọn ti rọ́bà bo wọn ti já sọ́rí o ẹ̀yin tó má sọ̀sọ̀kúsọ tí rọ́bà bo wọn ẹ bá ti já dànù yẹn ni omi wọn máa jáde nífòrò wọn níṣẹ́jú ìdòkúdò ló fà á.
Dára tí Ségè kan ló ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí.
Wọ́n ti gbélé lórí.
Ìpè tó ti wá pọ̀ jù.
Omi yẹn ò lè dúró mọ́.
Irú gan ìyá Prince ìyá tó bí gan ń gbé ṣépè lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ tá a wà yìí. Ìyá tó bí.
Èèyàn kan lè ṣe irú ẹ̀ fún ìyá ẹ̀ kó àbí kó ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ fún bàbá ẹ̀ kan kí òbí ẹ̀ má gbé ẹ̀ ṣe pé. Ìpínyàn dẹ̀ lè kú lórí ẹ̀ láìláì. Mo kọ́ mu lọ sódò ògùn ìlú ẹ̀ tó máa ń sọ yẹn. Odò ògùn yẹn gan ò lè wẹ̀ fún.
Ẹ ṣe jà. Ẹja gbogbo.
Bọ́dà láti fọ́ọ̀sì ẹni yìí jọ ṣégè fún mi lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí.
Ṣégè kọ́ àti òfin múnídáwà nìyàn. Listen to a very.
Ẹni tó pèyìn tán ni mò ń sọ.
Okay, no. Prince ló ń sọ̀rọ̀ náà.
Childcare. So I suggested we have Akim's mother come over to help with the kids while he goes to school. And I work to help pay the bills. I paid for his mom's visa fee and airplane ticket totaling $2,400. As soon as she arrived, Akim told her so many things about me that were not true. She arrived in late August of 2022, and on October 12th, she brought up the subject of Akim's mistress who beat me up in Nigeria. I told her I didn't want to talk about it because it was a terrible experience, but she insisted. During this discussion, an argument ensued, and the next thing I remembered was that she gave me a big slap on the right side of my face, while I was holding my 9-month-old baby girl, Gracious. She dragged me out of the bedroom to the living room with my clothes while still holding my daughter, and all three of us fell on each other. My daughter was so frightened and was crying profusely. I got up quickly to check and ensure that she didn't get hurt. I hurried out of the house for our safety, called Akim to explain what happened to him, and asked him to come back home immediately. I was afraid to go back into the house so she doesn't attack us again. We had to wait in the parking lot for him to arrive. Upon his arrival, he said nothing. And I asked him if he thought it was okay for his mother to physically assault me and his daughter, but he kept quiet. In his presence, the mother unzipped her travel bag and pulled out the 22 pairs of shoes that I had purchased for her to beat me, and hurled all 22 pairs of shoes at me, 2 of which hit my daughter on the head, causing her to cry again. I told Akim, "You are watching your mother while she beats me and your daughter up." Then Akim took Gracious away from me, and his mother was free to beat me up again. I couldn't defend myself because in Africa, particularly in Nigeria and my tribe, they are not permitted to defend yourself against elder abuse. Akim hurriedly changed his mother's ticket to Nigeria and drove her to the airport before I could find my phone and call the cops. My life fell apart that day, and while I was suffering in silence in my marriage from various forms of emotional and physical violence, Akim stood by and watched his mother beat me and my 9-month-old daughter. This is the second time my mother-in-law has physically assaulted me. I grieved and cried till I was weary of sobbing because Akim did not apologize on his mother's behalf. Akim's mother informed me that Akim was married to his Nigerian mistress because I came into the picture. Before I came into the picture, that I was only used as a stepping stone to bring Akim to America, and I should deal with it. I couldn't believe my ears and begged Akim to tell me the truth, but he denied it. Yet he couldn't let go of the said lady. Beginning of this year, I enrolled for the online classes at Manchester Community College to start on January 19, 2023. I went to school for my anatomy and physiology lab sessions, which was scheduled to run from 5 p.m. to 7:30 p.m., but finished at 8:16 p.m. Akim was awaiting me at home and continuously calling me around 7:30 p.m., but I couldn't pick up since I didn't want to disrupt my A&P class. At 8:16 p.m. after the lab class, I called Akim, who calls at me and asked why I was late. I arrived home at 8:26 p.m. Akim told me, I'm going to start hitting you. And I told him that I never reported your mother when she physically assaulted me on October 12, 2022. But if you hit me as you claimed, I will report you. Akim unexpectedly smacked me with the back of his palm on my neck. I couldn't breathe for a few minutes, and when I was able to, I contacted the cops. Akim fled before the cops arrived at our residence, so they were unable to arrest him. He eventually apologized, and while I was unable to press charges, I was able to obtain a restraining order against him and my children. The DCYF also called to my house to check on me and the kids. Akim begged and assured me he would change, but it only became worse. The DCYF lady
fake life máa pọ̀ o. Ẹ dẹ̀ máa ṣe lórí kámẹ́rà bẹ́ẹ̀ pẹ́ love ara yín. Lórí kámẹ́rà bẹ́ẹ̀ pẹ́ love ara yín. Tẹ́ bá ti wà lórí live chat báyìí, ìgbà yẹn máa ní baby, baby, máa wò pé baby. So àṣẹ fake life lẹ́ ń live. Ẹ rí dùnnú lórí marriage yín. Abájọ náà, abálájọ kò lè jẹ́ òòlè kò sí mo jókòó mo tún rò wípé ṣé gẹ́ẹ̀ ti gẹ́ẹ̀tì bọ̀bọ́ yìí bó ṣe gẹ́ bí wọ́n ṣe gẹ́ẹ̀tì Mohbad náà ni bẹ́ẹ̀ mo jókòó mo ò ríro. Abálájọ ló ṣe di wèrè sórí social network. Abálájọ ló ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ di Ṣàngó lóró. Abálájọ ló ṣe ní rest of mind mọ́. Àṣé nǹkan tó ń dùn ẹ́ nínú ti ń bà ẹnu jẹ́. Àṣàwọn nǹkan tó ń dùn ẹnu ti ń bà ẹnu jẹ́. Èmi ò mọ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́. Ló wá ń yírú ẹ̀ wá ń ṣe ṣòfè mi ló wá ní kí n dá ẹ lóhùn. Èmi sọ fún ẹ pé kò sí nǹkan tó kó wá sórí social network. Tó bá ṣe fracas, tó bá kó nǹkan márùn-ún wá, mẹ́ta tó bá kó mẹ́ta lọ padà ó lucky ni. Tó bá kó mẹ́ta lọ padà ó lucky Ọlọ́run ṣe ni. Inú ilé tó ra wọlé ìwọ náà mọ nǹkan tó máa tẹ̀ lára ẹ̀. Ilé tó ra wọlé àwa ti lọ́nu bẹ̀ a ti lẹ́nu bẹ̀ a mọ bó ṣe lè ṣẹlẹ̀ mo ti mọ nǹkan tó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ sẹ́ lọ́jọ́ ọ̀la. Ipe tó bá kó nǹkan márùn-ún wá sínú fracas orí social network nǹkan yìí ò lè pé mọ́ kò kí ń pé. Tó bá pé wá ò lè pé lọ mọ́. Ara ẹ̀ ló ti ń yọ́lẹ̀ yìí. Ara ẹ̀ ló ti ń yọ́lẹ̀ yìí náà. Social network ló sọ di wèrè òun ló yọ́lẹ̀ yìí.
Asked him to give me and the kids space for our own safety. We went to the 9th Circuit Court in Manchester, New Hampshire, NH, for a domestic violence hearing on March 23rd, 2023. Prior to the hearing date, a family member intervened. After the hearing, I begged Akim to move back to the house and start over because of the kids. Akim told me he's done with me and can't wait to get his citizenship next year and give me and the kids the middle finger.
Ló bá tán nǹkan tó dúró dè nìyẹn. Ṣebí nǹkan tó kọ dúró dè nìyẹn. Nǹkan tó dúró dè nìyẹn ó fẹ́ gba pálí. Máa wọ ẹnu ẹ̀ lájọ wà ẹ̀.
He also informed me that He purposefully rented an apartment near my house so that he could emotionally assault me with women because he wanted me to witness him with other women. He's also on a dating website chatting with older wealthy women. Akin told me that he used me as a stepping stone to get to the United States and that he can't wait to gain his citizenship so that he may move to another country. He also filed out from I-130 for his long-term partner. We are currently separated, no longer live together, and are in the process of filing for divorce. I was totally enslaved and used by him and his family, all in the name of marriage. I was financially extorted by him and his family and paid all his immigration processing fees to bring Akin to the United States. He never loved from the beginning. It was all a scam devised by him and his mother. But I was too foolish and in love to figure it out in time.
Arábìnrin, iwájú ò ṣe lọ, ẹ̀yìn ò ṣe padà sí fún ẹ o. Number one, ó ti ta àwọn ẹbí ẹ lọ́pọ̀ fún ẹbí ọkọ. Ó ti ta àwọn ẹbí títí ẹ, ó ti ta wọ́n lọ́pọ̀. Ó ti ta wọ́n fún ẹbí ọkọ ẹ. Ẹbí ọkọ ẹ náà ló tún ti fẹ́ rojẹ tán yìí. Tí ó kè ń bo ló tún fẹ́ lọ. O lẹ́bí nídìílé ìyá tí ẹ ti bàjẹ́ nídìílé ìyá. Nídìílé ìyá, wọ́n ti yọ ẹ́, wọ́n ti minor sí ẹ kúrò nídìílé ìyá. Ìdílé bàbá, ibẹ̀ ló ń runwó lé lórí. Ìdílé bàbá ló tún runwó lé lórí. Nídìílé ìyá, o lẹ́nu mọ́ nídìílé ìyá. O ti bàdílé ìyá jẹ́. Gbogbo nǹkan ti bàjẹ́ nídìílé ìyá ẹ̀. Bẹ̀ ìdílé bàbá ló kù. So ìdílé ọkọ ló ń gbóná lọ́wọ́ yìí. Ìdílé ọkọ ẹ ló ń gbóná lọ́wọ́ yìí. Ìyá tó fẹ́ fún ọkọ ẹ, òun ló ń gbóná lọ́wọ́ yìí. Ó sì máa bú ìyá ọkọ ẹ gan. Ìyá ọkọ ẹ, ìyá ọkọ ẹ sì máa jẹ wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀. Ìyá ọkọ ẹ náà máa jẹ́nu tó wà yìí. Ìyá ọkọ ẹ máa jẹ o. Pé àwọn náà ò ní jẹ́nu ẹ̀. Àwọn náà á jẹ pọ́nà sàn yà.
I kept forgiving him because of the kids. I do not want them to be a product of a broken home, just like me. That's it.
Guys, Karimo don't pass through a lot from childhood to her marriage. That is why she always talk on social media with a broken heart. Guys, share this video. My people, Karimo in life is...
So that is that about that. Nǹkan bẹ. Ẹ ṣọ́ra fún fake life o. Social network, kìí ṣe gbogbo nǹkan tó ẹ bá rí lórí social network ni real. Kìí ṣe gbogbo nǹkan tó ẹ bá rí lórí social network ni real. Fake wà ńbẹ̀, wọ́n máa ń fake míì nínú ẹ̀. Ẹ wo orú mu Karimo yìí sìn. Ẹ máa rò pé dùnnú wà nínú ilé ẹ̀ ni. Ó máa wùn yín kẹ́ fẹ́ yàwó tẹ́ bá rí bóun àtọkọ ẹ̀ ṣe ń ṣe online. Ẹ wo other side of it. Ẹ̀yin náà ẹ wo other side of it. Ẹ wo. Fake ó ti pọ̀ jù. Tó bá lọ follow social network live, tó bá lọ fi lólé ayé ẹ wà láì, ó tẹ́tán ni mo sọ fún ẹ yẹn. Mary àmúyẹ sọ̀rọ̀.
Ó ní agbára wa.
Ìjẹ́bí nǹkan tó fẹ́ láti ṣe fún ẹ yìí. Ó dáa mọ́ sí.
Yes, ẹ try gan. Mo gbé fún yín. Like mo applaud yín. Ẹ try gan, ẹ ṣe sùúrù gan. Ó ti tì í dé bèbè ibi tó jẹ́ pé èèyàn ní láti sọ̀rọ̀ gbà tí yóò kì í ṣe ọmọ lọlé lọ gbé sí wa. In fact, ṣe rí káti ẹ̀ ní pé gbogbo nǹkan tó ń sọ nípa ẹ̀gàn ká ní pé wọ́n ní gbogbo tó wá display níta yìí nǹkan. So tó bá yẹ pé bó ṣe ń ṣe náà nílé náà nìyẹn. Ẹ̀yin náà ṣe ọkùnrin wo ló máa lè withstand irú obìnrin bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. Tó bá ti wélè wá ti bú. Tó bá ti wélè wá ti dín. You don't even want to know your mate again. Ṣé ká ní ṣé owó tó wà lọ́wọ́ ẹ ló ń gùn ẹni àbí tí kí ni owó wá sórí social media ó bá yé ìyá ẹ jẹ́ ó bá ó má burú ẹ ó mú gbogbo ìdílé yín ó fọ́ yàmá nítorí ìwà àìnísùúrù ìwà ó fẹ́ ó tẹ̀lé kọ́ rí lónìí ọ̀rọ̀ bí ẹni pé she always want to be superior.
I have
gbogbo nǹkan tó bá ti ń lù lọ́sà máa lùlù fún pé nǹkan tó ń ṣe ó dáa ó dáa ó
Ilé
dáa
bá
ó dáa.
gbé àwọn ènìyàn bọ́lẹ̀ jọ mí gbọ́ bọ́lẹ̀.
Ele mai mo kuku
kò
papa.
fẹ́
Gbà
So
sọ̀rọ̀.
baba yan Chidindu Lawrence.
Ẹ dẹ̀ bá wa
kò
bí.
fẹ́ kéèyàn bá
The list of okuku. Ihe anyị meme na okuku.
Èwo ní yá yín ẹ̀mẹ́mẹ́ lọ kòkò.
Forwarded to me. So as it is now, me.
Bàbá yín jà èwo ní yá yín ẹ̀mẹ́ kòkò. Ṣé ẹ gbọ́ ni?
Responsible for the okuku.
Ẹjọ́ nǹkan TikTok tó ń ṣe yára yàrá wọ̀ ní.
Mọ́mí bí ni Mọ́mí bí ló ń sọ̀rọ̀.
Mọ́mí
Ẹ mú
bí
tẹ̀.
kò ṣe é mute ni. Mọ́mí bí.
Sorry o, mi ò mọ̀ pé mo ti bọ́ síbẹ̀ o.
Ẹ̀dẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀ wọ́n ní káàdẹ̀ gbé ngún kẹ̀kẹ́ dẹ̀ máa distract wa náà.
kí máa sọ mí lọ́bẹ̀ lára sí.
Ọ̀rẹ́ lọ jàre.
nǹkan tí mo rí lára gẹ̀ẹ́ ni pé one she always wants to control everybody pé gbogbo nǹkan tóun bá ti sọ òun ni kò ṣáà máa tẹ̀lé kò fẹ́ kó bá òun sòótọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ gbogbo nǹkan tó bá ṣáà ti ń ṣe kẹ́ máa lùlù fún she don't want to be wrong she always want to be right.
Maria nǹkan tó ṣe bá èmi jà gọ́gọ́ nǹkan tó díjà lẹ̀ ṣebí nítorí pé má bá yàn jà mọ́ má bá gbogbo ẹ̀ má máa create ọ̀tá fúnra ẹ̀ ṣe bó lè mi.
mo wà ń bẹ̀ ń gbọ́ yẹn mo wà ń bẹ̀ mo wà ń bẹ̀ nígbà tí òun àtọ̀rọ̀ ọmọ mi kan fi but what she wants is kàn ṣàwà ní maybe òun ṣe nǹkan tó wrong o òun ṣe dáadáa they should always be on her side and which life is not like that tó bá yẹ pé bó ṣe ń ṣe ń lé náà nìyẹn nobody will want to support her o wá síta o bẹ̀rẹ̀ jáde o bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń sọ story background yín o bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe pa bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe kú o mọ̀ pé bẹ́ẹ̀ ló fi ń ṣe lẹ́yà ni ẹni tó bá sọ pé kojú tiẹ̀ bí òun ìwé gángan lójú tì í so ọmọ tó bá ti lè bọ́ta tó gbé yẹ̀ síta tó sọ̀rọ̀ sí tó lè bá sọ̀rọ̀ tó wọn wá tó lè bá sọ at what age forget about the fact that you have money ọmọ 30 something years tó dàbí tó ti sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀dá arúgbó ọjọ́ kò sẹ́ni tó fẹ́ bá kò sẹ́ni tó fẹ́ gbọ́ sílẹ̀ nu mọ́ you always want to be right even when you are wrong even tó bá rárá àwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n ń correct ẹ pé nǹkan tó ń ṣe yìí this is not the way to go about it. kálukú ń jẹ which is what you are doing is totally wrong gbogbo èèyàn ló máa bọ́ síta ló máa bú ó máa bú rẹ̀ nítorí differences kékeré tó wà láàrin wa àtàbúrò rẹ̀ wọ́n ní pé ẹ̀gbọ́n lè máa bẹ́gbọ̀n kò sí bó ṣe lè rùn kó jẹ́ ó wá bọ́ta ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí sọ̀rọ̀ sí ìyá ẹ̀ ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí sọ̀rọ̀ sí ẹbí ẹ̀ òun pé ọmọ tó mọ̀ ìyá rẹ̀ lójú òṣì náà ni ó tọmọ náà pa imagine if you are doing like this tó máa ń ṣe báyìí sáwàtà jẹ́ ẹni tó jára àta báwo ló fẹ́ ṣe sọ́kọ inú ilé ẹ̀ o tẹ wá ráyè tọkọ mọ́ o ráyè tọmọ mọ́ o ráyè tẹni o ráyè tara ẹ fúnra rẹ gan mọ́ o bọ́ síta nítorí pé kí ni tó o fẹ́ báyé àbúrò ẹ jẹ́ o ṣàfẹ́ báyé àbúrò ẹ jẹ́ ṣá o ṣàfẹ́ wá always on top o wá bọ́ síta wá ń ṣe yamayama o ń ṣe rádaràda wọ́n lùlù máa jó lọ fún ẹ mò ń wẹ̀ yẹn ìwọ náà ń jó lọ ń wà in fact ẹ wo èmi tí bá tẹ̀ ní pé kí n sọ̀rọ̀ fún mo mọ̀ pé ó máa wá fún mi àmì fún èmi tóyàn bá ti wá fún mi èmi ò kí máa ń wá fẹ́ nìyẹn bèbí máa bẹ́ẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí bá ṣe lè bẹ́ẹ̀ gbọ́n mi tàbá bùrọ̀ mi sọ̀rọ̀ mo ṣe máa bẹ́ẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ you stop all this nonsense that you are doing. wọ́n lè máa bọ́ta ẹ̀yí ẹ̀ ti ṣe kinní kan wọ́n ní tí ẹni ẹ̀ka.
àwọn àgbọ̀nràn rẹ̀ fún lẹ́nu kó máa bu kò wá mẹ́nìkan náà kì í bú ẹni bó ti pèsè rẹ̀ síta báyìí.
ẹ̀sìn yẹn lèmi fẹ́ bá cover lèmi ṣe ní kó má bá yàn jà bìkọ́ kò mọ bìkọ́ ẹni tó fẹ́ lọ bájà ò mọ nǹkan tó wà lọ́wọ́ onítọ̀hún.
kẹ́rì bá làkú àwọn nǹkan kan ní mo fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ take note kẹ́rì gbogbo àwọn fámìlì ìṣẹ̀tàn kú lọ́dọ̀ yín wọ́n jọ lọ yẹ lè gbà tí wọ́n bá ara bí tó ẹ mọ́ báwọn lórí pátọ́ọ̀mù yín mọ́ o ẹ nóòtì tí wọ́n bá wà.
inú ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ síbi tọ́rọ̀ wà èwo ló lọ tẹ́ rí tó padà síbí mọ́ ṣé wọ́n padà.
That's good. That's good.
All right. Miriam, round up.
I don't know. I don't know the kind of people that they are around her. I don't know the people that they are advising her. Tí wọ́n sọ fún ẹ pé nǹkan tó ń ṣe ó dáa. Tó bá rí lè wá wọn pa. Tó bá rí lè tó bá bẹ̀ sọ tọ̀rọ̀. You don't want to listen. You don't want to do wà bú wọn pa. Which is really really bad. Obìnrin. Ṣé bí àwọn wà kan tó ẹ pé wọ́n ní èéfín ni wà? Kò sí bó ṣe lè cover ìwà ètò. Ìwà yẹn wàá gbé jáde ni. Nísìnyí o ti gbé jáde. O ti gbélé ẹ̀ jáde. O ti gbọ́pọ̀ ẹ̀ jáde ní ẹlẹ́ni. Tó yà wà yẹn jẹ́ o ti gbé jáde. O bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń bá àwọn tó tún yẹ kó fi ṣe bí o mẹ́bí ẹ o tà wọ́n dànù àwọn tó túbọ̀ pé àpé ọmọ yìí pé kinní kan pé bóyá nítorí àwọn nǹkan tó ti pass through ok tó bá ní ìyá tó ní bàbá tó lè tó lè fara ti àwọn èèyàn tó tún fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ láǹdẹ̀ yí ẹ̀ka ó tún mú wọn ó tún bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí yàkàyàkà wọn ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí sọ̀rọ̀ sí wọn ṣé mi tó pè ẹni tó bá pè lẹ́lẹ́nu funfun lónìí ṣé tẹ́gbèrò bá dé ṣé ni òní wọ́n ti pò pòun lẹ́lẹ́nu funfun àwọn àgbàlagbà wọ́n dẹ̀ ń tẹ̀lé ẹ̀ wọ́n dẹ̀ lùlù máa jó fún ọ dẹ̀ sọ pé nǹkan tó ń ṣe dà òòrùn tí àwọn ọmọ tó fílẹ̀ sílé òòrùn tí àwọn kéèké tẹ àwọn ọmọ ẹtẹ kó gbájúmọ́ kó ra gàbò wọn òòrùn tí ìyẹn mọ́ ó wá bọ́ sórí social network wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń ṣe lámìyàmá ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń sọ̀rọ̀ sí just anybody ó ga fún ẹ o.
jẹ́ ká fẹ́ lómìnà láàyè jàre. Hello.
Mr. Lachefuito.
Àwa ni ẹ.
Ẹ̀mí o ṣẹ́ẹ̀rí fake life ni ọmọ yẹn lè. Èmi she lives in the US. Kò ní owó kankan. Ṣé ẹ mọ ibi tó ń gbé iná Rhode Island àwọn ìlú kéékèèké bíi Oko? Àwọn ìlú kéékèèké kò ń ṣe registered nurse LVN ní licensed vocational nursing. It is not a registered nurse. Ẹ má jò máa tàn yín. Gbogbo àwọn medical terminology tó ń sọ, they are so vague and so basic. Ẹ rántí pé lady tó lọ yáwó lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ bá tó fẹ́ lọ sọ́dọ̀ òun ni tó fẹ́ lọ bá kíní òkú. Lady yẹn ní ó yẹ kó lọ bẹ̀rẹ̀ RN school pé kó lọ owó tó yẹ kó lọ fi lọ sí school yẹn ló fi lọ sékòó. Orí platform yẹn ni lady yẹn ti sọ. So ẹ má jò máa gà yín. It is not a